Alright, hello everyone. This is the morning of day 5, and I just thought I'd like to catch up because I kind of didn't record anything yesterday. Um, so I'd like to catch up on what I've done. Um, so as you can see, I've expanded um, the tile set pretty significantly. Added in a bunch of different new tiles, mostly stuff that goes in the background. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with these mushrooms yet. I want them to be there, and my thinking is they'll blend in with the background once I add in the actual background that goes in the far back, which may or may not have parallax. We'll see how it goes. I've updated the movement. You can see he no longer flips out and starts flying off the screen or gets stuck inside the walls. I don't think that happened before. It was happening before, but I don't think I showed that on camera. It may not have been happening while I was doing it. These don't look like they're using the right tiles. It's really hard to see which tile. They should be using this tile, they're using that tile. But I've got the tile set pretty expanded, and I'm pretty happy with these colors. They're muted, but it's the background. I want the background to fade, kind of. I also need to redo the sprite because he doesn't fit with the style anymore. I'll think about what I want him to. I want it to be a little more realistic, I think, but I don't want him to be too Battletoads. So we'll kind of think about it. I really don't like how he looks right now. He's really ugly. But we're going to work on that. So my goals currently are to finish the background, add a few more things to the tile set, mainly just detail stuff, so that it's not just this kind of grass. Maybe some vines or roots that hang down from the ceiling. And then probably 2 different sets of backgrounds, one for like outside and one for sort of a cave. So like cave tiles, so you could see sometimes, and maybe there'll be roots or cave stuff in the background, so you could kind of peek out through the back. That would look pretty cool. Actually, roots probably. Roots and kind of dirt. And then other times you could peek out and see like a swamp forest in the background. I'm pretty pleased with these colors here. They look not that great by themselves, but they should be a lot better once the whole thing is kind of in there. And I'd like to have that in by the end of the day tomorrow, because that means that I will be pretty set for kind of developing the different monsters and NPCs that will make up the bulk of the gameplay. So yeah. Now on the code side, I have fixed up the movement. This can go, I think, yeah. Basically way simplified it. And I will probably update it a little bit. I want this interface to be a little more useful than it is right now, but it's still okay. It's not bad, it works. So right now the interface is basically, it wasn't working out. The system I had, I was like, well, I'm going to have to send, there's just too many different variables that come into play when you're checking input. So this is the way it is. Now one thing I might do is, if you look at the way input's handled right now, you have to kind of decelerate, and you have a little bit of momentum when you turn around. I might turn that off, so that way you can, it takes a moment to accelerate, so it feels a little better. It feels like you're not totally, and I need to fix this jump. This jump is not good. It's not how I want him to jump. Right now you jump at max height every time you click. I want to fix that so it's not doing that, so that you can hold the button down and jump higher. And then I might allow, right now your current jump is 3 tiles high. I may make it through it so it's 4 tiles, but 4 tiles is almost, it's like a quarter of the screen. So it may be or almost half the screen. It's more like a third now that I think about it. I have to think about it. I'm not super pleased with how it is. I actually, you know what? 3 tiles is not bad. 3 tiles works. I just don't like the way it moves. Now, I don't want it to. I'm thinking I don't want it to decelerate. I want it to just, as soon as you hit the other key, just stop and turn around. Right. So there's some acceleration, deceleration, but it's more for how it feels rather than a gameplay element, like say Mario, where you'll fall off the cliff if you do that. Because this is it's an exploration game, Metroidvania kind of style game. So I don't want it to be too based on finicky movement stuff. Okay. Um, I haven't figured out all the mechanics yet. I have an idea for how the first one will work, and then beyond that, I don't know. I'm trying to possibly put in 4 different um, things that interact with each other, but I think it would be like 16 different interactions if they all interact with everything else. So that's a lot of stuff to do. Um, so I may consider doing aiming for 3 different monsters that you can interact with, and then each of them can interact with the other 2. I need to think about it. I don't want to overwhelm myself because I can't come up with enough unique mechanics, and I don't have enough time for that. I don't want to. I want to have this kind of gameplay complete by the end of the 3rd week, which is really crazy. But it's not meant to be like super large as far as size. It's meant to be more like a warm up. So I'm thinking maybe I'll have 3 different guys and then have different ways to interact with them, and that should be interesting enough to allow you to have fun playing the game. So I'm going to stop recording, and I'm going to do some more time-lapse stuff, and probably check in tomorrow night as we head into the end of the 1st week. And yeah, see ya. Hey guys, it's the evening of the 7th, and I figured I should post something before it goes too long, otherwise I'll kind of leave everything out. So here's where I am right now. I believe last time I was doing this, I was thinking about working on a background. I unfortunately have not done it nearly as much as I was hoping to do. I think I have a decent start on the background, but I don't like how it looks right now. It needs to be fixed. I don't even remember what I had before. As you can see, I've pretty drastically changed the player sprite. He's pretty close to what he's going to be like, except I don't like his eyes. But I haven't figured out how I want him to look. So for now, it's going to be like this. But I think this is kind of the body shape. He's a little bit pudgier than like a Battletoad, but he still has a kind of that. And I think these colors work pretty decently. It's a very blue game in general. I have added in. Oh, I think I was talking about how I was changing the controls, so he now stops on a dime. Well, no, he has some deceleration time. I don't know if you can see that. This records at pretty low frame rates, but he has some deceleration time, but when you turn around, he basically stops and just turns. Oh, yeah, as you can see, I added switching screens in, so that's there. I also added, okay, there it goes. So yeah, those are the main things I did. Still not happy with the background, but it might not be changing too much because I'm kind of need to move on. I need to fix. I'm going to change the colors on these mushrooms kind of back to where they were. I like the with the darker background, they don't really work. So, and I just need to fix his face, and then I should be able to start doing animation, and should be good. All right, so let's go back to the code for a little while. So let's see, what did I do? I think I talked about how I was changing this. I fixed some stuff with the way that the states work, going from one state to another. Yeah. So the problem I had is that getting the class of an object is actually really hard in ActionScript 3. You can get the you can find the type of an object by comparing it to another object, which is what I was doing. Unfortunately, because my jumping state extended my normal state, it meant that it would never find that it was a different state and switch to the new state, which is what I wanted. I could have explicitly done a transition, but I kind of like the simplicity of the way I was doing it. But yeah, so that's changed. But I am still having an issue. So I was trying to add in the way that you can hold it, and this is going to change too. You can hold the mouse button down. I may decide just to leave it out. You know what? Maybe you just jump a fixed height, which may probably be higher than this. Let's see. Let's tweak this a little bit right now. I may just leave it and just leave the not 50. Good lord, you just fly off the screen like that. Let's see, 5. Yeah. See, just barely reach. I think I'm going to leave it on this and just say screw jumping multiple heights, because honestly, I don't. The only reason I would put that is to let you easily do short jumps or long jumps, but it's not that kind of a game. And if you had spikes on the ceiling or stuff like that, then I could see the necessity of it. I think gravity's still too fast though. Let's see. It's really hard to tell. I think gravity looks okay. I think gravity is fine, but maybe the maximum speed you can fall, terminal velocity basically, is a little too much. I think I need to tone that down. So I don't really mind his colors. I think he blends in a little bit, but that's okay because it's grass. He kind of looks. He works pretty well. He's pretty bright and vivid amongst that. So I kind of like that. I like his general body structure. I just need to fix his eyes. I'm not sure how to do that yet, though. And if not, I'll just leave them because they're not that bad. They look okay. Get into animation because I really need to have him animated because it just does not look right like this. And I also need to start working on the actual game, I guess, the actual gameplay, because all the basics are there. You can switch levels, you have a tile set, you have that. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to animate and add in level switching, or no, not add in some of the mechanics for some of the enemies. And once I've done that, then it's all basically just making the levels, and I should have 2.5 weeks. And that's actually going to be a whole lot of stuff because a lot of things are going to change as I do it. Right. The reason I'm having these movement states is because there's also going to be like grabbing and like just different ways of interacting with the game. So I need I wanted to have a way that I could kind of flexibly deal with that. But that's it. So that's the check-in for the first week. It's done. 3 more weeks to go. I can do it. I may need to spend a couple of days, basically a Friday or 2 or some weekends, just working on it nonstop. But it's really hard to do that. I'm gonna burn myself out if I'm just doing nothing but making games. So, yeah, this is I take it back. I'm trying to decide if this was too big a project or not, but I don't think it is actually. I think the level of polish of what I want for this is a little bit much. I need to just let things go. Like I look at this and I'm like, oh, I need to do more for the sprites. I need to have more background stuff. I need to do. I don't need to do any of that. To do one game in a month, right? Not all my games for one game a month are going to be done within 1 month. Some months are going to be multiple. Some games are going to be multi-month games. If I have a game jam that I can basically soak up one of the requisite games. But I want to have a few larger projects because those are much harder for me to finish. So there we go. So I hope you're still watching, and I'll see you in a couple days, I think.